The first step in controlling your world is to control your culture, to model and demonstrate the kind of world that you live in, to write the books, make the music, shoot the films, paint the art. By Chuck Palahniuk. Hi, I'm John Christopher Murillo, and we'll be talking about cultural and multicultural literacy. Cultural literacy means being able to understand the traditions, regular activities, and history of a group of people from a given culture. It also means being able to engage with these traditions, activities, and history in cultural spaces like museums, galleries, and performances. According to Favel et al. 2013, being culturally literate can help you understand, relate to, and interact with people from diverse backgrounds that may be very different from your own. It can be especially important to be culturally literate if you are part of the dominant culture. Seeing, hearing, and learning about how other people live can make you more culturally sensitive and aware. Learning about different cultures can open your mind to different ways of life. We must also take note that cultural literacy does not limit to national cultures. It can be also applied to workplaces and schools wherein the workers and students have diverse beliefs and perspectives due to their culture. But what about the condition of cultural literacy here in the Philippines? We will be asking Mr. JUVESANO about this. Go ahead, Mr. JUVESANO.
Thank you, Mr. Murillo. Hi there, this is Roberto JUVESANO. Cultural education and thus cultural literacy in the Philippines is quite a challenge. Given the Philippines culture is complex, blend of many indigenous and colonial cultures, and varies widely across regions, and the average citizen is almost as ignorant as other Philippines culture as foreigners are. Such examples of this indigenous group in the Philippines are the Igorots, Mangyan, Tausog, Ibaloy, Tibuli, and Mingbar. These indigenous groups have diverse cultures that are different to the modern Filipinos like us. In addition, according to De Leon 2011, the biggest challenge of cultural literacy here in the Philippines is the deconstruction of negative self-images and notions of ourselves that we have imbibed over generations through our cable. Effective programs of education that can make Filipinos more responsive and sensitive to Filipino dignity, needs, values, and cultural potentials and assessed. The question is, how can we address this challenge? For De Leon, it is excellent in the arts via expression that is truly Filipino that can form the core of national unity. Because when you have cultural literacy, you can better understand and relate to other people. You understand and accept other cultures, which leads you to make stronger connection with other people. Moreover, there are other ways to improve the cultural literacy here in the Philippines. First, globalization, which leads to increased travel and exposure of cultures. Second, implementation of NCCA or the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and PCEP or the Philippines Cultural Education Program, which helps to promote cultural education in the Philippines. And third, exposure cultural complexity due to indigenous and colonial influences. Now that we have learned cultural literacy, let's move on to what multicultural is all about. Both of them may be similar of some, but they are different in terms of their concept. The floor is yours, Mr. Macayaran.
Thank you, Mr. JUVESANO. Hello there. I am Anton Macayaran, and I'll be talking about multicultural literacy. As cultures begin to mix and change as a result of globalization, conflicts arise over identity, values, and worldviews. This situation consequently needs for a literacy that enables us to quickly and easily identify and resolve such conflicts, preferably before they even begin. This has come to be understood as multicultural literacy. Multicultural literacy comes more in the form of intercultural communication competence, or ICC, which is identified by Dessou, Messetti, and Stenbach in 2014 as a composite of skills, abilities, attitudes, and personality patterns necessary for clear and productive communication with cultures and other than our own. Similarly, Fantini in 2006 defined it as a complex of abilities needed to perform effectively and appropriately when interacting with others who are linguistically and culturally different from oneself. The skills and knowledge required for one to be multiculturally literate are not more language skills, since it is assumed that some medium of communication already exists between two cultures. Rather, true multicultural literacy consists of perspective, attitudes, belief, and other cultures that affect the manner in which communication and motives behind our communication. With this, we have some steps on how to become multicultural literacy or multiculturally literate person, and this will be discussed by Mr. Niñal.
So the first step for us to become multiculturally literate is to first be selfless. One that is less concerned with how I feel and more concerned with how I am making others feel. It is crucial to multicultural literacy as so much of the offense and conflict associated with the meeting of different cultures is a result of a me-first attitude. Secondly, know that good and useful things can and do come from those different from us. Hand in hand with a dismissive attitude toward another culture is the idea that nothing good can come from them. Furthermore, there is a tendency to ignore or outright dismiss evidence to the contrary. Simply acknowledging that good ideas and products have come from cultures we might not like goes a long way in preparing our minds to perceive them as being equally valuable. The third step is to be willing to compromise. Any significant interaction with someone from a different culture is governed by the principle of he or she wants something and I want something. In other words, cultures do not interact out of pure magnanimity. If both of you are willing to give the other what they want, well and good. But what happens when one or both are unwilling to give what the other wants? There must be a compromise, a reciprocal adjustment of demands and expectations to accommodate what the other party is willing to give. And the last step, number 4, is that to accept that there is a limits. At some point, however, one or both cultures will be unwilling or unable to adjust their wants for the sake of the other any further. Beyond this point, the productivity of the interaction drops and one must either change the purpose of the interaction or walk away, accepting that what you want cannot be had from the particular source. Attempting to force the other party to adjust when you refuse or do the same only results in misunderstanding, hurt, and conflict. The sooner we accept this, the sooner we can set realistic expectations of one another.
To conclude the discussion, we can identify the differences between cultural and multicultural literacies, where cultural literacy is the knowledge and understanding of the life of a culture to the point where one can fluently participate in activities of the said culture. This includes but is not limited to its language, traditions, values, beliefs, and form of entertainment and worldviews. While multicultural literacy is the knowledge and skills necessary to ensure that any communication with a culture different from our own is clear, productive, and respectful, such that their differences are celebrated and neither culture is demeaned or treated as inferior.
For our takeaways, we encourage everyone to widen our mindset that the world does not solely revolve around you. We should learn to embrace diversity in our society, that we learn to open the doors for the people with different races, beliefs, and traditions. Remember that we are promoting equity and equality for all cultures and that we strengthen the essence of interconnectedness between nations by not just tolerating them in the society, but to achieve the goal of inclusivity. Once again, this is John Christopher Murillo. Thank you for watching.